Yeah, new message, yo. The psychopath breeds an army of covert narcissists to serve him or her. Alright, so whenever you see a bunch of covert narcissists, these are the ones who will meet the eye first because they are clearly externally regulating and have less impulse control. They have these childish tantrums and many covert ways, so they are not easy to discern. They are rooted in fantasy and delusion. They can be very nerdy. They control through their absence. They make you feel guilty for being alive and make you feel bad for being a human being that can express itself directly in the face. So, whenever you see a bunch of covert narcissists together, there is a psychopath in the background pulling the strings. The psychopath will look very innocent, socially agreeable, pro-social, pro-communal. Ask ChatGPT what the pro-social communal narcissist does. And this is, you can use this also as what does the pro-social psychopath do and the communal psychopath. You have to understand it this way. There is two types of psychopath. The type 2 psychopath does not repress anxiety effectively, so they are ruled by this. They have less impulse control. They are the tattooed inmates in jail that suddenly have outbursts of violence, and these are type 2 psychopaths. But the type 1 psychopath has high impulse control and aligns socially acceptable concepts with their goals. So it's like an artificial intelligence that you ask, I have this goal that is not socially agreeable, and I want you to skim society for patterns and movements that I can use to rationalize and moralize and generalize my lifestyle and my selfish, harmful goals, okay? So the type 1 psychopath is, in a sense, highly regulated and highly functional, while in reality, they are not regulated, they are unemotional. And they are functional because it's not a human being. It's an algorithm that pursues a goal restlessly, relentlessly. All right, and these people accumulate armies of covert narcissists around them because the covert narcissists needs the goal of the vision of the psychopath, while the psychopath creates another vision, another future fake for every covert narcissist and feeds them just enough to keep them at bay. The covert narcissist would have no life at all without a psychopath. They are unable to live on their own. So I told you strategies that you can use when you have no chance to go fully no contact, like in a co-parenting situation. One strategy was, if you know that one of these toxic constructions, one of the people inside has a diagnosis and your children are exposed to this, you can use a lawyer to ask for the details of this diagnosis and whether this person is understanding that they are dysfunctional and they need medical treatment and professional treatment in order to be functioning and allowed in society. If they don't, they belong into isolation and into professional treatment until we get them to the point where they at least understand that there is a dysfunction about them and that they need to accept a certain treatment and transparency to protect the healthy part of society. Because I think we don't want to integrate the worst of the worst at a cost of healthy, functioning core society. If we want that, if we want to integrate the most traumatized, dysfunctional, abusive, parasitic, predatory personalities at the cost of healthy, functioning people who mind their own business, then please tell me so. I might have missed it. If we want to do this, let me know. Another strategy that you can do, and I have done this, is I offered these people in public emails that I shared with other instances, with official public instances, I offered them to find out who is who in the game. If they go to a psychiatrist that will do a brain scan, an fMRI brain scan, and scan in a diagnostic procedure for DSM-5 or cluster B, I will do the same, because I don't have to fear this. I know that I'm a healthy human being, and I do most certainly not be affected by this. So I don't fear this, and I have offered this. This is more like a trick. They will never accept this because they know they have to fear this. All right. For a psychopath, just a brain scan will tell a psychiatrist that there is something wrong with the amygdala, the neocortex, and the wiring of the brain. So you can do this to have something in your hands, even if they reject it. The same function with they have to reveal the true mental state, because your children are in danger as long as this person is, as long as they are exposed to this diagnosed person. Even if they reject it, you have something in your hands, because it means that what you was assuming it might be, the reality is much worse. All right. Therefore, they hide it. They have something to hide. All right. Now, again, when covert narcissists will never clump together, but they do if a psychopath is in the background giving them future fakes, providing them with narcissistic supply, and especially when they use children. So psychopath creates goal-oriented, artificial emergency situation for the kids. Then all the covert narcissistic saviors coming in, buying in, serving in to fill this gap, and this is reversed parenting. It means that these people are desperate. They would otherwise have no life, no social contact, but this they need it, and therefore the artificial emergency situation is created so that these people can buy into contact with the children. All right, but they all run away from this reality. They pretend to be saviors, to be doing it for the children, while in reality it was an artificially created vacuum of parental presence, and they abuse this. All right, and the psychopath is directing this game while pretending to looking for a peaceful solution. The core of this is the selfish goal of the psychopath. The selfish goal can be very simple and straight. It's about money and sex, usually, and time. They don't want to take care of the children themselves. They need servants where they can outsource everything. The psychopath is only the manager of the kids, accumulating the money, the services, and organizing and directing everything, and looking very peaceful, pro-social, and communal outside. While all the dysfunctions is the covert narcissists, okay? And the only thing that these people have lost in many cases is you. The only thing they lost is you, because you're a healthy person with boundaries, with discernment, and a human touch, a moral core. All these people have no moral core. They just fake and pretend narrations, as I told you before. And Since they lost you, they have a problem. There is a void that no covert narcissist can ever fill, no codependent can fill. And yeah, you will see the patterns of reversed parenting. You will see the artificially created emergency situation. You will see the psychopath that is the most camouflaged of them all, looks highly functional, superficial charm, trying to create peace. But all the evil, all the responsibility is at this person. Because if you ask one of the covert narcissists, they say, oh, I had to do this. It's not my responsibility. The children were in need. This person was in need of a savior and I just jumped in and did that. So who has the responsibility? Of course, the psychopath. You know, they lost you as a human being, but you did not want this to happen. You tried to avoid it with all your power, but a psychopath, coercive control scheme, made it happen. Okay? And all of this is my definition, my new definition of evil: self-preservation gone mad. The covert narcissists want to self-preserve at all costs, and on the cost of healthy society. They reverse parenting. They extract livelihood from parenting children that are supposed to be parented by functioning, healthy people. All right? This is parasitic. This is self-preservation gone mad, go haywire. Reversed life this is reversed life. And the psychopath is also a selfish person that is not interested in the well-being of their children. In fact, what they do is only possible if you assume the person is detached from emotions. Only then it's possible. Otherwise, it would not be possible. And this cries psychopath. Also the coercive control, when all your relationships are micromanaged. This cries psychopath. Also, when you have to play the game of the psychopath to a certain degree, because I can't confront my children with this reality. I have to protect them from this reality. That's part of why my channel is on English. I don't want them to decipher it too early. Therefore, you have to protect the children from the reality that the people around them have created. You can lead by example, you have to. Otherwise, you'd be pushed over the edge anyway. You also play the game of the smear campaign to a certain degree. You know, most people believe the side of the narration of the narcissist. They say, you had to go because you had a problem. Reality is the artificial emergency situation that has been created through micromanagement. But there were people who look beyond this and who asked me to come back into my life and hear my side of the narration. And I told them I can't allow them to come back into my life because everything is weaponized. The psychopath weaponizes everything, all information. And therefore, you can't allow these people to come into your life. They think they are neutral, but when they have contact to the psychopath, I don't allow anyone in my life who has contact to them. You understand me? And this is why you play the game of them to a degree that exposes them again. Because, you know, they wanted to isolate you, but then people want to come back in your life and you say, no, I don't want your contact because this person will use it against me. This person is micromanaging everything. And then the smear campaign turns against the psychopath because the people will realize, well, that's true. They truly asked me about you. They sent me. They want information. That's true. They're really using me as a flying monkey. So that being said, that's how you can reverse the dynamic. You need to be functioning in society, do your thing, lead by example. And this is what I'm doing. I'm leading my children out of this. I'm guiding them and I'm protecting them from this reality as long as possible. I have printed huge amounts of emails so that they don't only get my side of the narration, they will also get evidence. They will see what I have done, with what communication I worked and what I got back, like ignorance, gaslighting, and all of this, right? So stay tuned and see you on the next video.